Before I had kids, I worked in an office, and there were lots of people in many different departments. Lots of workers, and then there were the bosses of all the workers, and then there were the bosses of the bosses. Sometimes I would get nervous when I had to talk to one of those big bosses. My heart would get a little fast, and I would get hot in my face, and a little prickly feeling would come on the back of my neck. I didn't look forward to it. And one morning, I was speaking with one of those big bosses, and I noticed something curious. He had a little pink barrette in his hair, a little pink plastic barrette. And he must have noticed the puzzlement come over my face because he stopped talking, and I slowly said, "You have a barrette in your hair." And so he reached his hand up, and a look of embarrassment and understanding came over his face. He explained to me that he'd been playing with his daughters before work, and somehow he must have missed taking that one out. I couldn't believe it. My big scary boss played with his daughters and let them put little barrettes in his hair. Shocking! Well, I was never nervous talking to him again. And because I was not afraid of him anymore, I got to know him better. And that interaction with him had shown me that, you know what, he wasn't just boss. He was a human. He was a person, just like me. He had relationships and family. It was lovely. And that really gets me thinking about God. You know, when we hear stories from the Hebrew scriptures of people interacting with God, many times they're cowering, or they're turning their faces away. They were fearful or afraid of God. Now think about how Jesus' coming changed all of that. Jesus, a human, a person, showed us the tender relationship that he had with God. He called God Abba, a term of endearment. Abba's like saying daddy. And there were people who were shocked by Jesus saying that. Jesus showed that he had a relationship with God that was intimate. It was so close. Who in your life uses a term of endearment with you? I've heard names like Lollipop and Lulu and Sweet Pea and Kiwi, little names that maybe only a few people in all of the world say to you to show you how close they are to you and how much they care for you. Jesus called God Abba. It was as close as you can get. And Jesus modeled for us that we can have a close relationship with God. We don't need to fear God. God is your Abba too. An Abba who loves you and cares for you and will comfort you when you need it. God's not some far-off being unknown to us. God's right here with us. Think about God using one of your nicknames for you. Can you imagine it? God softly calling your name? The humanness of Jesus changed everything. Jesus made God approachable for us. Jesus showed us the tender side of God. Pretty epic. Pray with me. Loving God, Abba, thank you for sending Jesus to us to help us to see the type of relationship that we can have with you, to show us more of who you are and what we mean to you. Amen.